epic battle expected here at Zwartkops. There are a couple of Zwartkops specialists, particularly at the front end of this field. And more importantly is Gavin Upton going to find something special on his Motion Perfection Yamaha this weekend to keep out the hard-charging Sean Stoutgat for Mark from Four Ways Flyers? The two of them are going at it all year long. And Sean has taken the pole position ahead of Gav, so a little bit of rivalry there already. Further back in the field, keep an eye out on Morne Potgieter. Andre van Vollenstein having a very, very welcome return to Thunderbikes and getting up to the front end alongside Cliffy Ogle. Here we go on board here with the start. Lights out and we're racing down towards turn number 1. Good start from Sean Stoutgat for Mark. Oh, look at the field steering through from the back end though. Oh, in fact, for Mark gets outgunned into turn 1. What a start there from Gavin Upton. That inside line of the circuit is certainly the one you want to be on, particularly if you've got a standing start. It gives you a little bit of extra grip with the little bit of rubble and stuff that are on the inside there. But Gavin Upton is not going to be worried about any of that right now. He's just trying to get away from Sean for Mark. It is a fantastic start coming out of one of our oldest competitors out there. And Van Vollenstein is doing a super job there in third place on the Stunt SA bike. Then you can see the rest of the field coming through there. Clifford Ogle didn't quite get the start he wanted as they come through turn 4. A nice start as well coming out of Rian Fourie. Vincent Green up there as well. Savannah Woodward just behind them. In fact, Savannah Woodward starting to make her way right to the front end and sitting in about 7th or 8th place there. Ogle sneaking up on the inside as they come into Sassel. Byron Rothko gets up nicely and makes one position up. He starts to make his way through the field and looking for a chance to maybe get a top 10 there. Remember, this is sub-10s and Thunderbikes combined. The first 5 bikes are basically all the Thunderbikes. Then you've got the sub-10 category and a couple of Class B Thunderbikes in the mix a bit further back there. Marnus van der Merwe being one of those riders. Upton and for Mark getting away. For Mark just sitting pretty at the moment. Nice to see Rick the Racer back in as well. Rick Comedy back in the field. Spicer looking to close in there on Trixie. I can tell you Savannah Woodward's not going to have an easy time of it. Not with the slightly more powerful machines just behind her and looking to close her down. Nice stuff there as well from Rian Fourie. And at the back end, little battles as well, starting to rage right at the back. Austin Olivier making a step up, a big step up on that No Rules Triumph Daytona of his into this big category. Not easy to run a 600 against the thousands. And you can see, even though this track is conducive to 600cc bikes and even 675s that the Triumph has got, it's always that extra bit of power that you need. And the ZX10 is starting to close in there using the 1000cc's available to it, closing in on the Motion Perfection Industries R1 of Upton. Sean for Mark looking good through Mix FM, heading down towards the final turn on the circuit and slowly but surely reeling Upton in. He's been sitting pretty and just waiting for a chance to get through. And I think any time now he can pounce. Upton is going to have his wits about him because it'll probably be a last lap effort here from Vermaak. Behind a fantastic battle. Have a look at this. Duplessis fighting hard with, oh, look at that. Morne Potgieter and Andre van Vollenstein keeping out Duplessis for now. But any second there could be a change-up. Potgieter in the middle of that little battle. And that little R1 behind, itching to get through. Slowly but surely looking for a way past. There goes Rian Fourie, just ahead of hard-charging Vincent Green. Looks like Savannah Woodward's falling back into the clutches, not only of Jordan Agliotti riding for Ridgeway Race Bar this weekend, but also with Henk Scaling. Henk Scaling doing a good job as well. Also having to step up into the sub-10s for the first time this weekend. He'll also be in action in the Red Square ZX10R Masters Cup later in the season. But there's a change-up. Duplessis finds a way through. Van Vollenstein and Potgieter getting outgunned there. The R1 just using its little bit of superior power, I think, through the corners and just goes through past both those ZX10s and into a maneuver at the front end. He now moves up into third place. There's not enough time for him to close in on the top 2. They have got away from the rest of the field. Henk Scaling. Oh, problems in the background. Looks like one of the riders having to pull off into pit lane. Tian Daisel on the Deltron Forge Kawasaki having to pull in there. That will not be what he wanted, that is for sure. Rick the Racer still in it though. Rick Comedy fighting hard. And Cliffy Ogle's all over the back end. Look at Byron Rothko. The Magic Mag and Jay's Consultant bike absolutely hauling in the closing stages here and looking to close down on that WHC Racing Ducati Panigale. Nice to see little battles through the field. 23, Andre van Staden under pressure now from Scaling. Van Staden runs a little bit wide. Scaling knows this track well. This man knows this track well as they come up onto Sassel Corner for Mark, closing in on Upton. There's a bit of a change-up expected. I'm sure that he's going to have a go here. Any second now, we're going to see a move here from the four-ways flyer. Upton is going to have to be very... Oh, he makes a mistake. That could be exactly what Vermaak is looking for, and it is. Vermaak sneaks through. He gets up the inside line. A small mistake out of Upton as he came out of Mix FM corner. And now Vermaak is at the front. He's going to get his head down and try and get away now on the ZX10. That R1 is going to have to go well. And it's going to have to go as fast as Upton can push it to close in and possibly get back here at Sean Vermaak. Stoutgat doing a great job to keep out Upton. Gavin Upton, remember, he is the number 1 from last year, the Thunderbike champion. 55, Rob Morph. First of the 600s there, also to note. Nice ride there from the Morphine Racing Machine, up into 6th place overall. And in the background, a big one. That's a huge one. That is Austin Olivier crashing out on the Daytona. The Triumph Daytona man goes down. The no rules racing man, unfortunately, out of this one as the flag comes out. So no rules for Austin Olivier, but ruling the front end was all about Sean Vermaak. Upton in 2nd, Chris Duplessis in 3rd. That's Class A in the Thunderbikes. Class C goes to Morne Potgieter, and sub 10 goes to Rob Morph. Let's catch up with Stoutgat.
I'm super stoked. First win for me overall. Tough conditions, full of oil the track, so we had to make some adjustments on our riding. Just managed the race. Managed to get past Gavin about 2 or 3 laps from the end, and just kept it there. Super happy.
2 days of unbelievable racing here at Zwartkops. As always, the Extreme Festival has delivered, and delivered in a big way. We're looking forward to seeing more of that action throughout the season. Our next round is in the friendly city, Port Elizabeth, on the 15th of July. Looking forward to bringing you all the action real soon. All the Extreme Festival action is proudly brought to you by G&H Transport, Engen Primax Unleaded, and Bridgestone Tyres.